Hello, Mark. What day is it?
7.
7. That's the one. Now, last night, before I went home, and I stayed quite late, I was here till 5 o'clock, which is practically midnight for a teacher.
No.
Now, I pinned it in the end. I abandoned the taping method. Now, that was down to my problem, really, my fault. And I discussed it before, not sanding the fluff off here. When the plywood leaves the factory, it will have been sanded with a linisher or a belt sander or something up that makes the finish consistent and smooth, but it leaves it quite fluffy and dusty. And I didn't do the prep to clean that so that it would stick better. But the pinning works really well. It makes sure that this is exactly in the right plane against that edge there, so I've been very accurately able to pin the two parts together. You've got to be a good shot with the hammer there, because if you go astray, you will blow the ply apart and get a little lump. It wouldn't be the end of the world, because it is going to get glass fibre taped over and a fillet on the inside.
So you glass fibring this on the outside and the inside?
Yeah, the inside gets a glass fibre fillet with filler in it.
Right.
So you make the epoxy up to a thick mixture and apply a fillet down the inside, and that'll be the next step for this. And then the outside will get some glass fibre tape. But that will be shown in the future clips anyway.
Okay, let's have a quick look at this.
Yeah, so it turned out, Mark, that the taping method for me was about as useful as me delivering the keynote speech at a hair and beauty conference. Should we go to a hair and beauty conference?
I'd love it.
Would you love it?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do there, but I'd like to.
Yeah. This, you know this bit on the end here then, just to show our audience. So this sort of you'll just tape all this as well.
Well, there is of course the keel or the skeg. This part runs right to the end.
Yeah.
And then that will get filmed, and it's going to get taped up the front there anyway.
Should I look at the skegs?
Yeah, I can go and get on that. We'll pop it on. I'll show you how it works.
I'll just show them this.
Pop it on the centre.
Actually, I'll just do a full view of what this beautiful thing looks like. Look at this.
So this is the little infill piece, and then of course there's another piece will sit on top of that and run the full length of the boat, being like a keel, I suppose. And this, I can't put it to the end because of the panel pins, but that will be flush with the end. So the little gap that's there will get filled in with a little bit of filler and tape and so on. And that part fits down the centre there.
Brilliant.
And I did a bit of gluing last night, Mark.
Okay, let's have a look.
I glued those scarf joints that we showed in the previous clip. So these are all bonded together now. We can take the panels off and have a look what we've got. Not quite sure. This tape's brilliant. The epoxy just doesn't stick to this brown partial tape. So there we are. Obviously it's to be sanded and cleaned up, but that's a very, very strong joint now. And then this will be the same here. Now these are the, there we are, broken off there. So smooth it is there. I put a pin in that just to close it in tight there, and I'll wiggle the pin out. Come out in a minute that way. And so these are now 6 meters long. They only need to be 5.1 meters, but you can see, long old bit of wood now.
Right, it's a long piece of wood, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So there we are. That's just over 6 meters long, that piece of wood now. But that's what gets stretched around the top of the side of the canoe there.
Brilliant.
The gunwale.
So the next instalment, which will be, well, Monday or Tuesday, I suppose, isn't it? Will be the filleting.
On the inside of the boat, yeah, it will, Mark. Yeah, I might actually get on with it this afternoon. We'll turn the boat over, I'll put these on, or the outside one, and then fillet the inside, but that'll be on the next set of clips.
That's brilliant. Great, thanks very much.
It's been emotional.
See you in a bit. Take care. See you in a bit.
Hello, Mark. Same
Neil.
day as before, funnily enough.
Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah, I know, I can't get out of the place now.
Look
I'm
at
stuck
this.
with this project.
Yeah.
But yeah, we turned it over. I'm not sure the previous clip showed the canoe this way up, and we've set it very carefully on the bench, and we've tape marked the 8-foot distance. You can just see the tape on the bench there, and put these spars on it, checked everything was completely horizontal, and so the boat is now sat. We know the bottom of the boat's flat then, because the next step is to fit these wooden battens down the side here, or outwall as it's known, or outwell, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. And I've screwed, so I clamped as I went, clamped, screwed, and then worked out from the centre on each side so that the stress and the load was balanced as I screwed it on. It's a temporary fixing, it's only screwed on. I'll screw it straight back into the same position next time. So I'll mark what's the left and the right hand side, or port and starboard if that's what they say, bow and stern, if those are the correct terms.
Correct.
And so that'll go back on in the right position. But it needs a little bit of reinforcing at this point, because the next step is to run a fillet of epoxy and filler along the bottom of the boat here. and we use a radius tool. I'll make that out of a bit of plywood with a radius of 18, because the radius needs to be 3 times the thickness of the ply. That's the rule of thumb. So at a 6mm ply thickness, that makes an 18mm radius scraper. So I use a piping bag. Mark will come back and film this, I think.
Yeah.
Use a piping bag to squish the filler into there and then draw it along here with the tool to give it that profile. Now for extra reinforcement, it does say in the guide that you can then go over the top with a glass fibre tape and epoxy to reinforce it again. The outside will have glass fibre and epoxy tape anyway. So I may do that. I've just bought another 30 metres of this stuff really cheap, so, and I've got spare epoxy, so if I've got it, I might as well. So at the end, you can see what we've done here to hold it together. A couple of things to point out in the end here is that the spars, these battens, these parts here, rise up by 5mm. This was suggested in the instructions. And I'll plane down to the plywood. And that'll make these end parts look more slender, narrower. They'll be 15mm narrower at the end than they are sort of 900mm further back there.
Make it look nice. Yeah,
it just makes it look a bit sleeker, a bit more pointy, I suppose. Yeah. And then at the end here, my little tip for this, and there's lots of bits of ways people have done it, is that I've let these spars overrun from where they'll be cut flush, and I have put a notch and put a wire twist in to pull it together. That's quite effective, the wire twist, because you've got some real control over how much force you apply there. Yeah. And left the clamps in place there. So that'll stay on until the inside epoxy and the outside taping is done. And then I'll fix this part on. There we are, Mark. What do you think?
When you doing the filleting today or
tonight?
Tonight.
I'll be doing it about 10-15 minutes. Once I've got the masking tape on, I'll run the filler into it then.
Do that. I'll come back and we'll just see that bit. And this will be now the video start. Number 3.
Number 3. There we are. Number 3. We're getting there.
Okay, brilliant.
There, Mark.
All right, mate.
I'm just using this epoxy before I mix some filler into it to prime the timber here so it soaks in a little bit and gets the bond going. So I know that there's a good thin coat. I did it before when I did these parts here. You know, I primed the joint. Really hairy, isn't it? And that'll just help the epoxy filler bond a little bit better. So this is just
okay,
coating it.
Brilliant.
And I've taped it here, Mark, so I don't overrun and make a mess with the filler.
Got you. Yeah. Yeah,
so that's all right.
You've done right at the top there, right up there, right in the.
Right in there. Yeah, that's where the filler's going all along there. So you can see it doesn't take long to get it on, Mark.
Yeah.
I'll go on it twice, give it a good soak, get the filler added to this, the sawdust and the other stuff, and then to the peanut butter consistency. Drop it in an icing piping bag, snip the end off, and then squeeze it in. I'm using my little spreader tool, which has been cut to that 18mm radius. Then to give it the right profile, Mark.
Yeah.
Now I suspect I haven't quite mixed up enough, because it's not too much of a difficult job to mix up a little bit more if I've not quite got enough. So that's what I've got going in, Mark.
Okay. So this is now Neil's epoxy resin station.
Yeah, so I've got a little area set up, partly on a bit of scrapboard because you end up with dribbles everywhere. Yeah. And I'm going to make up the filler now. So what I've got here is a mixing bag, and I've just popped that in a pot there to help me transfer it in, and I'll make that filler up with a mixture of this colloidal silica, I think its correct term is, and the sawdust there. So I've got a bit in the bottom there. I suspect it'll probably double in volume pretty much by the time I've filled it up with the filler. I don't quite know how it's going, so I'm going to just spoon it in, mix it in bit by bit. A couple of them, I'll need at least 2 of them. I'll put one of these in.
Now you could use just your standard sawdust as long as it's fine enough.
Well, that's what I mean. This has come out of our sanding machine over there, Mark, and it's and the kids nearly always use MDF in schools.
Yeah,
sad reflection of the money we've got. But it's a very fine particled dust to start with.
Yeah, and
so I'm sure someone will put some in the comments about this. It's a terrible idea to use MDF, but it's worked. It's worked so far. You know, you can see it going there. That's. Yeah. Starting to go thicker now.
You want the consistency of peanut butter.
Well, that's right. So there's going to be a fair bit more of adding this. I'll do 1 big spoon at a time, because if it ends up too thick, it's harder to put more of the other stuff in, I suppose. Yeah. But you can see it's increasing in its volume as I do this.
Yeah.
One's a bulk. Yeah, I mean, they do slightly different things. One of them stops it being runny, and the other one bulks it out. So
is this in the manual? When you looked at your manual, does it say you can put sawdust in and whatnot?
Yeah, well, you just do your research on how it's done. lots of people use sawdust as a packing agent for filler, so
Yeah.
got quite a bit more to add actually,
All right,
feeling
I'll
the
let you
texture.
carry on with that here for a bit.
Yeah. I think I'm nearly there, Mark. I think it needs to be a bit thick. I wouldn't describe that as peanut butter.
Yeah, a little bit more.
It doesn't drop off, does it? Because you don't want it to slump when it's in there. So and then mix those in and see what we've got. Okay, straight to the bottom of the bag.
That should do one side at least, shouldn't it?
I would have thought I was going to do, yeah, on my maths, Mark, that's going to do one side, you're right. I'm going to leave it at that, Mark, and we can have a quick go with that spread it, see if I'm putting it on too thick. A little bit is the answer to that, Mark.
Yeah.
Put that back in the pot. Transfer that in the bag in a minute. Smells getting away, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, the piping bag bit works well, Mark. That's easy. Considering what a
idea.
filthy thing this stuff is, it's going in all right. That.
Okay.
That's all right, then, Mark. Happy with that.
Good. Nice little tool you made there, Neil. You've got a piece of plywood and you just round it off on the...
Yeah, that's exactly it, Mark. Yeah, it's doing okay actually. Consistency. There's a bit more to put in various spots. If I scrape a bit of excess off, I'll put that back in there.
Yeah.
See, that's going there. There's a bit too much there, but yeah, it's going back over it. There, you see, lovely. Happy with that. Now, probably going to put a piece of epoxy tape back over this.
Yeah. After it's dry, or yeah?
Oh yeah, when it's set, Mark. Yeah, you go back over that. You see, but reach into there.
Okay, there you go.